We are thrilled to have you all join us for an exciting night of innovation, inspiration, and space exploration. My name is Nitula Suryarachi, and I will be your host for tonight's event. I will introduce myself in brief. I am Nitula Suryarachi, and I am currently an undergraduate student at SLTC Research University, following a bachelor's degree in data science. I am the elected secretary for the executive committee of SEDS SLTC. Pleased to welcome you all for tonight's event. To kick things off, let me now give you a brief introduction to NASA Space Apps Challenge. The NASA Space Apps Challenge is an international hackathon where teams worldwide engage with NASA's open data to solve real-world problems on Earth and in space. This is an incredible opportunity for our participants to collaborate, think creatively, and innovate solutions that have a global impact. Without further ado, let us move on to the most important segment of our agenda. I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker for tonight's event. Hope you are excited as I am. We are going to meet Mr. Perory. So yes, Mr. Perory is a notable figure in the realm of space and science, and he is recognized as NASA Space Apps Colombo 2021 Global Nominee for being a part of Team TrashX. Mr. Perory is not only the first and former president of SEDS Junior Sri Lanka. He is also currently pursuing his bachelor's degree while contributing as a science lecturer for GCE All students. Under Mr. Perory's leadership, the TrashX team won the NASA Space Apps Colombo title back in 2021, which demonstrated his exceptional research and development skills. So without taking much time, we would move on to the session with Mr. Perory. And before the session begins, a link will be shared soon in the chat. You can go to this link and submit your questions. Whichever comes to your mind about NASA Space Apps, whichever question you have about competing in this challenge would be answered by Mr. Perory after his session. So I would give the brief introduction on how to log into this. So when our team shares a link in the Zoom chat, you can go to this. There is no necessity for you to sign up or log in. You can anonymously log into the Padlet Zoom link, Padlet link that has been shared in our Zoom chat. And there will be a plus sign at the bottom of your screen, and you can click on this and submit your questions. Once again, you can go to the link, and there will be a plus sign at the bottom. You can click on that plus sign and submit your questions. I hope I'm clear. Moving on, we are incredibly honored to have Mr. Perory here with us tonight to share his experiences and insights. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Perory. Mr. Kings, the stage is yours.
Right. Good evening, everybody. I hope I am audible and clear. Can somebody confirm that?
Yes, you are.
Right, perfect. I am King's Perory. When I was doing this project, I was a school student. I was at my A levels, and together with my team members, we did a project for NASA Space Apps 2021. I guess after 2021, this is the year they are doing next after now. So many these things now. This is the next year they are doing after 2021. 2020 was the first time they did. So there are so many things I wanted to share with y'all. Mainly, I'm here to talk about how we went for the global nominee, how our team went for our global nominee. Uh, before going to the global nominee part, I will start from the place that we were at. Now, during our A level season, okay, 2020. Even before 2020, of course, in school events and school astronomical society, just participated on small projects, but not in a big project like NASA Space Apps Colombo. So I was doing some small projects that were not much recognized, but in small level, those days, small mind. So that kind of projects I was doing. Of course, went to some competitions as well. And then in the year about 2019, about 2019, got introduced to the SEDS chapter. When it comes to SEDS chapter, during the year 2000, sorry, I'm using the word Lamai because I usually teach GC other students, so I may use that word. Sorry for that. So in the year 2019, of course, 2019 and 2020, during the start of 2020, I was introduced to this SEDS chapter, and we saw that in almost all the universities in Sri Lanka, there is SEDS chapter. And myself, and of course, there was Sarah, one of a coordinator in SEDS Junior. So, talked to the founders of SEDS Sri Lanka, and we wanted a SEDS Junior chapter as well. So finally, by the year 2020, SEDS Junior chapters were started, and it is the first junior chapter for SEDS in the whole world, because SEDS is mainly for the university kids. So that was the first time a junior chapter, that means for the school students, a chapter was started. And first the coordinators were Sarah and another girl were there. But after that, they formed a committee there, and I got the chance to be the first president of SEDS Juniors. So from there onwards, me and myself, my connection with SEDS grew much, and then I was able to be a part in the Serendip 2.0 high altitude balloon project. Not into the technical side. Those days, you all know, school, I was going to the school. So with that kind of mind, I was able to go there and help them. So was able to participate in Serendip 2.0 high altitude balloon project together with SETS. So after that, this NASA Space Apps came. I'll just tell some experience, and then I will give you all hints on how to go for the global nominee. Right. So by the year 2019 and 2020, 2020, first time NASA Space Apps came to Sri Lanka. Right? In Sri Lanka, they hosted NASA Space Apps. So we were really, excited. We wanted to participate in it. There were about 40 to 50 teams. Me, myself, Sarah, and about Shahir, and another two people. Five of us together formed a team. All were school students, right? All were school students. We were in our A levels, and those two, Malli and Nangi, were in their O levels. So we formed a small team, and we participated, and we submitted a project called Go Green. It didn't make through. Go Green didn't make through in this thing, right? But once it didn't make through, that means that defeat gave us a challenge. Just next year, we have to do something bigger than this. Next year, we'll be focusing on the things that we didn't do in Go Green, and surely we'll go for the Global Nominee Award. And not 1 year of planning, but at least about 6 months of planning was there. First, we studied what are the problems we had in the Go Green project. So when it comes to Go Green project, first problem that we had was the practical application. The percentage of practical application of Go Green project was very low. These are the points you all should focus on. So when submitting a project for this NASA Space Apps, we know now when it comes to space and NASA, being practical is not 100%, but you can be at least about more than 75% practical on what you are submitting. You don't need to be totally virtual. Bring some reality to the project. So our Go Green project was not practical. These were the things we studied after the project, after the defeat. These were the things we studied from Go Green project. So it was not at all the percentage to the practical application of Go Green project was not up. That was the first problem. So when you all are submitting a project also for NASA Space Apps, be practical on what you submit. Whether is it possible to do in the space or using those media there or whatever the connections there, is it possible? That is the first thing. Second, we didn't research much. Our research data was very less in the Go Green project. Actually speaking, we were the school kids, so we didn't do any research at all. Now you'll ask me, sir, Now you'll ask me now how to do this research. We have so many open sources now, even NASA's open API is there. From there, you can download a lot of data because we don't have proper data about space. Might be to some extent we learn about space, but we don't have 100% data related to space with us now. But if we research a little bit, we can get all the data that is needed for our project. So second, you give a good research. What I recommend is in your projects, focus mainly on the research phase. I think for our global nominee project, that was TrashX. I'm still explaining about Go Green. I'll go to TrashX also. So in TrashX, our research phase was almost more than 2 months. We were able to develop the project within about 1 month. But about 2 months of research work was going. Priority to the research work. Right? But you need to time it as well, because if you keep on researching until October 1st, then everything will turn upside down. You will have enough research data, but you don't have that practical data. So both you need to manage. So research give more priority. Might be now itself you can start your research on, right? Whatever the field that you are trying to do, that research you can start now with. So we have at least another about 2 months to fully complete the research and another 1 month to develop the project. So give more priority to the research. So Go Green project didn't have a proper research data. Third, there were no any prototypes made. That is very important when you are trying to go for a global nominee in a advanced competition like this. Try to have prototypes. It doesn't need to be 100% the exact prototype that you want. You can use some graphical softwares. Graphically, you can represent a software to create more impression. What do I mean by more impression? More than something graphical, if you can have it tangible, right? If you can have that substance tangible, it's more impressive. So let's take now, just for an this thing now, let's take you are building a solution regarding the nozzle shape of a rocket. Your challenge is you need to build a proper nozzle shape for the rocket that gives more efficiency. Let's say you can do a research about the nozzle shape, because as an average person, we don't have much of a data about nozzle shapes. So first you do a research about the nozzle shape. After doing the research, you build a graphical representation of the nozzle shape. And if you can, try to build a tangible prototype of the nozzle shape. So you have almost everything you have, right? So Go Green didn't have any prototypes. And of course, Go Green was not a complete solution. What do I mean by complete solution? I will talk about it when it comes to TrashX. Because TrashX had a full complete solution. A to Z, everything was there. Judges actually didn't have much of a questions to ask from us during our presentation. We actually planned on what questions judges should ask from us. Everything was planned. So I'll tell you how that went. So TrashX, it was a complete solution. Go Green, not a complete solution, but it fulfilled the challenge. Go Green fulfilled the challenge, but it was not a complete solution. So two different things. Fulfilling the challenge, yes, you can. Giving a complete solution, it's more better. I'll talk more about this complete solution. So that is about the previous thing, right? That is the Go Green thing. So we learned everything. Now by the year 2000, now this is sharing the experience together with the telling you all the tips on how to go for the global knowledge. So meanwhile, I'm sharing the experience. I will tell you all the tips also. So now 2021, it was 2020, it was a defeat. Go Green was a defeat. We didn't make it. 2021 started. In the year 2021, yes, now we have learned everything. Almost 6 months we were planning. Yes, we need to do something bigger. They announced about NASA Space Apps, just like now, somewhere around June, July. Yeah, they announced about NASA Space Apps 2021. Everything was set. We had a base team. Our base team was Sarah, me, and Shahi. We were the base team. That means whatever the challenge, first that base team will be there. From that, depending on the challenge, we will include more team members. So that was a base team. Me, myself, Sarah, and Shahi. We were the base team. So from there, we'll be including more people if needed, or we'll continue with that. That's how we went for Go Green project also. So next year, our base team was there, and they provided us the challenge. I think still challenges for this year is not open. Just go through the NASA Space Apps, their website. There will be a site map. There they will be updating all the dates when the challenges will be updated, when they will start webinars, just like we are having webinar, they will have webinars. And that just go through that site map. There I didn't go through that for this year, but there you will have the dates. However, challenges will be published once then the challenges publishers. I think even say Sri Lanka will provide it to y'all. They will update y'all that the challenges are provided. So once when the challenges are provided, so many challenges will be provided to you. Okay, you need to select one. Be very specific when selecting the challenge, because that is the challenge that you are going to build the solution on. So that challenge, when you are selecting the challenge, don't give priority to your emotions. Now, some people, they are emotionally connected to a certain challenge. Now, for example, some people, they are emotionally connected to rockets. So if they wanted to build something, they wanted to write, I wanted to select a challenge that goes with rocket. So don't get emotionally connected. Be specific. When selecting the challenge, check whether you already have any research data. Then your workload is like minimized a lot. First, check whether you already have a research data on a certain challenge. Right? You can check on that, right? You yourself know that, and you might have a base team. The base team knows. So that also gives a count whether you already did a project on. So first check whether you have research data. Plus check whether can you research about it more. So that's also needed. Whatever the research data you have doesn't matter. Let's say you start from nil, whether you can research about it. right? Within the given phase of time, whether you can research about it. Next, very important part, check whether our team members, they have equal opportunities to participate and contribute to build the solution. That means you call it labor distribution. Now, in our team, of course, I did the research part. Shahir was very good at making things. So he made the tangible prototype. He also helped in the research side. So tangible prototype, mainly that job was given to Shahir because Shahir was good at that. There was Sarah. Sarah was good at doing documentations. Right? I think from school time onwards, she did so many documents. So she is really good at doing documentations because that's also very important because finally you need to present it. You need to communicate whatever you have in your mind. You need to communicate it with the judges. So your document should be perfect. Zara was doing the documentation section. So we three were there. What is lacking in us? We were school actually, we were in A level, so we didn't have much details about building a software or a website or programming site. Our knowledge was very less. So what we were lacking was a programming site part. For that, we usually join with one of our teammate, we call him Matto actually, Danushka Ayya, right? Danushka Maathiyo, we call him Matto Ayya. එතකොට මේ Danushka Ayya. So Danushka, he just completed the level. So we joined with Danushka. We joined means we all worked together because he was really good at making programs and website, that section. So we needed him. He was into the team. And additionally, now almost we all the school kids, so we don't know how to present a project because finally a project should have a research paper. There is a certain pattern in which you build a research paper. So that knowledge was also less in us. So we wanted someone who has already done enough and more projects in university, who is away from school. For that, there was a person, but later on, with his university things, he couldn't continue. So he joined us for about 2 weeks and then he told me, it's hard for me. So our main team was these 4 people. So now you can see our team had distribution of labor in a very proper way. One person didn't do all the things, plus all of us didn't do the same thing. All of us had different jobs to do. And of course, when someone was not there to do something, we were able to contribute on it. So almost for about 2 months, every week we had meetings. Meeting doesn't mean you need a Zoom to have a meeting. You can have a WhatsApp call, whether things are working out, right? So that way. So we had distribution of labor, right? Together with that, whatever we all can do, we selected the what you call project, the challenge. So the challenge that we selected for that year was a solution for the, not solution, mapping space debris. That was a challenge given to us, mapping space debris. Okay? Mapping space debris was the challenge. But look at the solution we built. Now, when it comes to mapping space debris, there are so many space debris in the space. Our challenge was just to build a software or something that can be used to map the space debris. That's it given. But we didn't limit to that. We saw now mapping space debris is like taking a novel book and starting reading from page number 100 to page number 150, which consists of 300 pages. 300 pages book novel, you start reading from 100 to 150. That is the challenge here. So remaining initial pages and final pages were not given as a challenge. But we thought we will build a full complete solution. Mapping space debris was the challenge. But what we did was, we built everything from software to hardware, everything. Mapping space debris. Starting from Earth, you go to the space. There will be devices there. I will explain about the project. Whatever things that I can put out, I will put out today. So from Earth, how things are going to go up. We map for the mapping process. We use satellite data. So how the satellites are going to be located. Made the prototype of the satellite, and using that, how the mapping process is done using laser. There's a system called LiDAR. Using that system, how the mapping process is done. After doing the mapping process, how it is extracted into a software, and finally how the output is going to be. Even we made a website which gives the output on how that final map works. He made that prototype that was made by Danushka here. So he made a prototype on how that final mapping really is going to be represented. Because when you see how that map is going to be, that was made. After mapping, now from there, are we going to stop? No, we are going to clean the space. So after mapping, if there are big debris, if there are problematic debris, if there are debris which can collide on a working satellite and cause some huge danger, how are we going to remove that? After removing, how are we going to bring it to the Earth? So from Earth to Earth, complete solution was there. But challenge was not that. Challenge was mapping space deeply. So now can you all understand why I told in the previous one? In the previous slide, I told about the fourth point. Go green was not a complete solution. Most people, they build only a solution for the challenge. They don't see the complete solution. So try making a complete solution. Am I going off the time? Just update me. No, another 10, about 10 or 5 minutes is there, I guess, right? Yeah. So that way you select the challenge. So when selecting the challenge, check whether you can do a complete solution. Now this was the challenge we had. Mapping space trash in real time. So there was increasing amount of debris orbiting. So we had to map it. This is Danushka Ayya. This was actually on the day we were giving the presentation to the judges. I guess y'all know there are three things y'all should do. Now, except the research and the development part, I'm telling during the Space Apps Challenge season, we call it a season because on 1st October, 2nd October, it goes like a season, right? No sleep, that's how the workload goes. So, however, during that time, you need to do three things. One, you need to upload your research to the website. I will show, we have our one in the website. This is the website. NASA Space Apps Challenge. Our one was TrashX. So that year we were the global nominee. So once when you become the global nominee, you will be updated like this. So still our one is there, TrashX. So you need to give a high-level project summary. Make this project summary as short as possible, but include everything that should be included. Don't use AI. Don't use ChatGPT at all, at any risk. Okay, that's why I always try to have a documentation part. This was actually made by Sarah. So that documentation side, you should be very good. So project demo was there, link to the final project. Our tracking process, all these steps were there, step by steps. You need to explain everything. Plus. Try to include calculations. If your challenge can have calculation, try maximum to include calculation. So that gives the reality. I told you, go green was not real. This is real because calculations were there. Try to include calculations, and if there are any software part, try to mention about all those things. This was the software we built, and try to show flow charts. Because those are easier things to explain. Try to show flow charts. And what is the advantage in your systems? What are the advantages? Be very specific when explaining the advantages. And this was the software we built. Now, finally, the cleaning process, control unit, collecting all those things. And finally, you need to include the references, all these things. So this should be updated during the space challenge season. This data should be updated. It should be updated. That is the first thing, right? And after that, they will put the marks and they will release the top 20 projects. First, they will give the top 20, but during our time, there were about 58 projects, I guess. So they will first give the top 20 projects. After that, top 20 project will be given time slots to come and explain about the project. So this was during our explanation. Actually, during our first section, we were not up to the standard. Still, you can see in our documentation there are some wrongs. Why? I told you, our research person was not with us. We know that was an error we had. The research person was not continuing with us, so we know our research paper is not 100% perfect. If you can make it 100% perfect, from there itself you can hit your first. So, however, there our marks were somewhat low. After that, of course, during this round, this is you need to explain the judges. Actually, in our project, during this explanation, we did so many trials on how the explanation goes. Everyone got the chance. Everyone, their job, they explained, and I guess only 10 minutes were given for us to explain, but everything was explained probably. Technically, you explain and go. It goes. Now, during the explanation process, before the explanation process, we actually planned. We planned and we left about 3 errors during our explanation. We know the answer for those errors. We left those errors. Okay. Errors in the sense we didn't explain that part properly. We left about 3 errors, and we know judges will be asking questions from those 3 errors. We already planned on what the question judges should shoot us. Correctly, about 2 questions came from that section. We answered. Right. So I don't tell you to leave errors, but if you properly plan it, there will be this thing also, right? This for any project. You can do that. And this was an explaining about the website created, right? It was explained by Danushka here. We only made this thing TrashX website. I have a prototype graphical video using 3 satellites. How the mapping is done. This is actually Arthur C. Clarke's theory. Using 3 satellites, actually, you can cover the whole Earth, whole planet. Our Sri Lankan person, Arthur C. Clarke's theory, that's what we formulate. Using 3 satellites, we map the whole Earth, but not the normal rays. We use laser. That also in a dual synchronized manner, we used it. This was the prototype. Prototype in the sense, this was a device that is sent to the space and that is used to collect debris. This is a small tank-like thing. From this only debris are collected using electromagnetism. We attracted the what you call debris and it goes into this tank. And this part is permanent in the space. Once the debris are collected, it is again sent down, so it comes again to the earth. And on the way, it will burn. So we are not bringing debris to the earth. On the way, we burn it and finish it off. We planned. If there are small debris, we burn it. If there are big debris, we bring it again and recycle again. Event. So actually, Shahir made this as a tangible. This thing Shahir made. So all these things include. Right? So it becomes a complete solution. And with that, we became the global norm. Right? As well as we won the award for best use of science. Right? As I can remember, out of the 58 teams, only our team and another team were school teams. This was done during our A-levels. So we were the only school teams. All the others were from universities. So that's the briefing on how to go for the global nominee. And I guess next is are we up to the time or do I have more time?
Yes, Mr. Perory, you can discuss more or we can move on to the Q&A session.
Actually speaking, I told everything that I should tell. I think I didn't miss any this thing. And after this, yeah, after this, what happened, that also I will tell. So after the global nominee, Anupaya talked to us. He actually told us, things don't stop the project from here. Actually, he was there in the board, so he told us your project is super. Don't stop it from here. Build a research paper for that. Actually speaking, just I started my uni. Still, we don't have a proper knowledge on how to build a research paper. So if you can build a research paper on your project, super. So that will take you to the next step. And of course, we got some media coverage. The 2020 winners also, they got covered by Derana. We got covered by Hiru and to another news channel. I think ITN and a newspaper also wrote about us. So those are the things that happened after that. And you all know, Sri Lanka, of course, when it comes to space, if we are doing something up to the prototype section, you can go. But after that, developing it practically, you need to collaborate with a space agency. We are still trying for that. Maybe in future, this can come into a practical project. There are some more things to be developed in this project. Maybe it can come to a practically possible project. Yeah.
Yes. Mm, would you like to share more about the experience you had, or are we moving on to the Q&A session?
Yeah. From my end, I talked on everything. We'll go for the Q&A session.
Yes. So before moving on to the Q&A session, I would like to thank you so much, Mr. Kingsbury, for that enlightening session about your experience. And your journey and accomplishments are truly inspiring. We are grateful for your insights and what you have shared with us tonight. As discussed, we will now be moving on to our Q&A session. So this would open the floor for the questions asked by our fellow participants. And Mr. Perory will be answering them for you. So our first question would be, Mr. Perory, in your experience, what makes you a successful team in the Space Apps Challenge? What makes a successful team in the Space Apps Challenge? What do you think about it?
Distribution of labor. Check whether your team, as I already told, one person don't do all the work, as well as all of you don't do same work. There should be proper distribution of labor in your team, plus communication. I told every week we had a call or a meeting to check how the workload is going. This is applicable for any project, not only for the NASA Space Apps. So anything, check on your teammates, right? One can take an initiative. That you don't need to have a team leader there. You just can have a call while you are traveling, while you are walking or something. You can have a call and discuss how the project is developing. Yes.
Yes. So the distribution of labor would make a successful team in any challenge according to what you explained to us, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I hope that answers it. The next one is, how important are innovation and creativity in this competition? Can you give us examples of past projects that stood out to you and why?
Right. When it comes to creativity, include creativity as well as technical knowledge together. Both should go together. If you are more creative, the realm is not there. That's the problem we had with Go Green. We were really creative, right? But it was not real. So creativity and the technical knowledge only. Last project of now go green. It was green tea. Yes, of course. You can write an essay about it, but not a research about it. But when it comes to TrashX, we balance the creativity, right? Now, when it comes to our the prototypes and there were some creative things done there, right? Plus, it was technical. Now, for example, you can't put a garland onto a satellite and make it creative. There should be a reason why you do something. Now, if you see, anything like that. So there should be a reason. So always try to balance your creativity. There should be creativity there. Balance your creativity together with the technical knowledge. That makes the project real. I guess I answered the question.
Yes. Okay. I think that answers it. Moving on to our third question, Mr. Perory. What technical skills and tools do you recommend participants to focus on? Do you specifically recommend any resources or platforms that are particularly useful for this challenge?
Right, when it comes to platforms, it depends on the project you select on, the challenge that you select on. If you take our TrashX one, we had to use a hosting site. Okay, hosting site, because finally the website has to be hosted. You can use the GitHub. Even during the challenge, they will the NASA Space App will also directly give you all some resources. So you can use GitHub to host your website. Right? And if it is including any programming, okay? If it includes any programming part, you can use whatever you are good at, or your team members are good at Java, C++, you can use whatever this thing. And use AI, but limit it, right? For example, ChatGPT and all. If you are using, it's okay to use, but limit it, right? Limit it. Everything should not be directly from ChatGPT. It doesn't make any sense because it's your own project, your own creativity. So use them, as well as NASA's APIs will be there. Now, when you are doing the researches, of course, some data you feel like you don't have access to, but actually NASA has given access to so many data, right, which we don't know, right? If you start researching now when it comes to space debris, how many space debris are revolving around the Earth at this time? That data is available at NASA's API, right? And from which country that is originated? Think now, space debris, from which country that is originated. We don't think about those data, but all those data present, they are available, open, right? You can search on NASA's APIs, right? Directly during the NASA Space App Challenge for y'all, for the team members, directly they'll give you all access. Links are published there as well. So once when the challenges are published, just go through the full challenge, check what are the resources directly given to you all, right? I would recommend NASA's API. It's a wealth of information. Everything that you need about space is available there, right? I guess I answered.
Yes. I hope everyone got what they needed about the tools and the resources that they can refer to when going to the NASA Space Apps Challenge. I would like to move on to our next question. So, what are the potential benefits and opportunities for participants, both during and after the competition? What do you think about that?
Right. During the competition, your potential will be built to the maximum. We didn't have sleep at all. During the submission day, I guess submission was at 12 until 11:59. We were typing, typing was going on, and so many things were happening, right? So that potential that is very much needed for you to continue with other projects as well. Even, let's keep the winning, not winning aside. Even if you win, even if you don't win, that potential that you build, huge. During the research phase, the knowledge that you gain, because about space debris, we don't learn in school books. We don't learn about space debris anywhere. So once when I started researching about space debris, a lot of things. And dual synchronous oscillation, that technology, so many things, because we don't know when it comes to dual synchronous mapping technology. No, you can't stop it only from mapping space. It can be even used on Earth. So that knowledge that you gain, right, that is high. After the this thing space apps, let's take you win, you don't win, that doesn't matter. Huge recognition will be there that you participated for NASA Space Apps. If you win, of course, your recognition is very high, right? You'll be recognized throughout SEDS and all those who are there in this astronomy field in Sri Lanka as well as other countries. You are highly recognized, plus the connections that you build with other team members. Again, later you can work on many projects. So that recognition is important. And as I told you, if you can take it to the next level, let's say you stopped, you became the global nominee. After that, if you can build a research paper on it, properly publish that research, and a big company goes through that research paper, they come to you. That will take you to the next level. Yeah, I guess I answered.
Yes. And yeah, our next question is most likely a follow-up question from the previous one. So it also asks about the long-term benefits of participating in NASA Space Apps. And then I am also curious myself about what future opportunities may arise from taking part in this global challenge. How would you be recognized in the future?
When it comes to future opportunities, guaranteed throughout six chapters, you will be recognized. One. SEDS does so many projects, right? High altitude balloon project, Tabro project they do. Actually, in Tabro project also, there is a A-level, there was a A-level person working, right? He I don't know what's the thing, what's the thing, he's into research or something. He also participated in NASA Space Apps. From there, he got a huge recognition, right? And after that, he started joining with the Tabro team and the rover team. So he is into that team. So from SEDS, of course, a huge recognition is there. And after that, it is up to you and your team to further develop the project. The more you develop, the more you can code for other competition. NASA Space Apps, Singapore Space Challenge is there. That is highly recognized, right? There are Sri Lankans who have applied for Singapore Space Challenge. Even that boy, now he has done his A-levels and he was over. So he even himself and his team were able to participate in Singapore Space Challenge and win a trophy, right? I don't know the place, but however, he was able to win. After that, the recognition he got was very huge, including us. After the NASA Space Apps Challenge, SETS actually brought us to higher positions, right? As well as now our project, of course, we had to stop it with the research. Still, research papers are on this thing, on the go. So once when that is developed, it can go into the next stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that answers it. Moving on to our next question. This is something asked by a lot of participants. Do you really need, do we really have to make an app, or can we do some document submission?
NASA Space Apps is not about making an app. It's about completing a challenge. providing a solution for the challenge. There is no connection with building an app. Right? So you don't need to always focus on making app, but there are some challenges where they request you to make an app. When selecting challenges, go through that also. What are the requirements that they want? Some challenges are there you really need to make an app, because now let's take make a gaming app about aliens. Then guaranteed your challenge is building an app. Mapping space debris in real time. That doesn't need to, it's not a must to build an app. So depending on the challenge, it differs, but it's not a must to build the app.
Yes, I see that. Okay. And then our next question. If someone is participating as a solo participant, what should he do and what are the challenges that require a team?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yes, this is about participating as a solo participant in the challenge. Can someone participate as a solo participant in the NASA Space Apps? If it is possible, what are the challenges he might face, and are there any challenges that require a team's contribution? How would that work out?
Right. Yeah, solo participation is yes possible. There is no this thing called you need to have a team, right? You can participate as a solo participant, but you need to do all the work by yourself. That distribution of labor will be not there. That's the problem when you participate as a solo participant. Of course, you can do if you feel like yes, I can build everything A to Z. Yes, you can participate as a solo participant.
Yes, so then that would not be an issue. And then our next question. Since most participants are curious, but they are not much knowledgeable about space, would that be any challenge for them? Can anyone without a knowledge on space can participate in the challenge?
At that kind of an instance, make your research phase very long, because you're starting from zero. You don't know level thing. You know zero things about space. Then your research should be from A to Z, from very initial. You keep the challenge aside. First research about space, and then you go to the things, right? So your research, if you can participate without any knowledge about space. That doesn't matter, right? No, during school days we didn't have much knowledge about space, so that doesn't matter. But make your research phase very long, right? Give more priority to the research.
Yes. So then it is not a challenge for anyone without much knowledge about space to join into this. Moving on to our next question. Is this challenge only for coders? Can someone without any coding experience still take part? I think this answers your previous question as well about the documentation part. But still, we would love to hear your insights on this.
It's better to have a person who knows about coding in your team. That's a plus point. That doesn't mean you should have the coding person. It's not a must, but it's a plus point. I guess I answered.
Yeah, thank you. And then our next question. Can a grade 10 student participate and still get any advantage?
Sorry, great.
Grade 10 student, a student who's doing his or her O levels.
Honestly, yeah, can participate. There is no any age limit, right? Juniors also can participate, right? Anybody can participate. That doesn't matter. That's coming to the participation side. Next, when it comes to the development, of course, if you can give time for this together with your studies, then of course you can.
Yeah, moving on to an important question. So, this year's NASA Space App theme is "The Sun Touches Everything." What does it mean? Do you have any idea about this?
The sun touches everything. Maybe what I feel, I'll tell, right? There might be different views on this because the team doesn't make any this thing to the challenges, right? So challenges are totally different to the team. But when it comes to Sun, now actually the theme is given because when it comes to NASA Space Apps, in other countries they host this in a physical environment. So they are the when they give a theme, every design and everything will be made according to the theme. So that's the main this thing behind the theme. Now, when it comes to sun touches everything, of course, the connection between us and the sun. That's the main relationship they are talking about. Right? The connection between us and the sun. Right? That's my point of view. But that doesn't, however, affect your final challenges. Challenges will be totally different to the theme.
Okay, I guess that answers it. I would like to move on to our next question. So, our next question is, how do I access the challenge? If there are a website or something, what is the maximum number of participants for a team?
Accessing to the website, of course, uh, I guess SEDS will publish the website as well as you can go and just search about NASA Space Apps Challenge 2024. Once when the website is open, you just need to go to the site map first of all, when the website will be open and when the challenges will be open. From there, you can access the website. I guess the next question is how many team members? Yeah, team members. Don't make it too big. Don't make it short. As I can remember, they give a limit, right? I can't remember the exact number, about 8 or something, right? But as average, most during our time, of course, most of the teams had 4 to 5 members. That was the average.
Yes. We will go to our next question. So, what is expected from participants in the competition? Mr. Kins, so when you were a participant in NASA Space Apps and were selected as the global nominee, did you have to face a physical interview with NASA?
No, because this is NASA Space Apps Colombo. So actually, they use the word Colombo because with the city name only, this is hostel. When it comes to USA and all, different cities. I told you this is a physical event. So in different cities, they host sets in different cities. Now when it comes to France, different cities will be hosting. Right now, I think France is NASA Space Apps having that day different cities will be hosting. Physically, it will be hosted. Now when it comes to Sri Lanka, instead of going as NASA Space Apps Sri Lanka, they need to use a city name, so they used Colombo. That doesn't mean it's really based on Colombo, unless and otherwise it's a physical event. So it is ours, hosted by NASA. So the judges that who are going to come are mostly from Sri Lanka. Mostly from Sri Lanka. During our time, university lecturers only came as the judges. Mentors are from Sri Lanka. So it is just that hosting is given from NASA to make it an international event. But finally, coordinating in your city is done by the city people, right? So we don't directly get connected to NASA. But when we become a global nominee, yes, we have a connection to NASA. Because from every city, there will be 2 global nominees. Finally, it's a shorter list. Okay.
Yes, I see. So we will be moving on to our very last one. So this was something that you discussed earlier as well, but I think sharing in depth would make this a lot clearer for our participants. So how can someone gain knowledge about this? Do you recommend any websites or any other resources, classes, anything to gain more insights about space.
Is it about space apps or about space?
I guess an answer about both would make this a lot clearer.
Space apps, of course, it's hosted every year. October is the season for space apps. So every year it's hosted. Just go to Google, type NASA Space Apps, just Space Apps, right? NASA Space Apps, and you will get from history to everything. As well as go to YouTube and you can search about NASA Space Apps in different cities. They physically do, they actually have videos of it, right? Physical event is really big. So physical event, how it is hosted, all those things are there. And why it is hosted, all those things are there in the Google, you can search and learn about it. When it comes to space, of course, what field you are going to learn about space, that you need to select first, right? After selecting that, now if you wanted to go in the physics side of space, then you learn about that section, right? If you want to learn about rocketry side, then you learn about that. So select the field, right? Select the field, and after that, now everything is there open, right? So then you can learn. Only thing that you need is the interest, right? Once in that interest comes, after that you start researching about it everywhere, right? Books are there, right? You in Sri Lanka you can visit Arthur C. Clarke's Institute. There you can gain information. Planetarium is there. There you can see things practically, right? If you're a university student, of course, SEDS chapter is there. Astronomy clubs are there. Schools has most of the schools have astronomy clubs there, or the astronomy society. You can join there. They will have sessions every week. Weekly sessions are there. Like these webinars are there. So many platforms are there for now to learn about space.
Yes. Then we will be moving on to our very final question for the Q&A session. So are the winners from each category are selected from all around the world, or are they selected from Sri Lanka in the Space Apps Colombo Challenge?
Yeah, Space Apps Colombo is based for Sri Lankans. So it is selected from Sri Lankan teams, right? Those who submit. Sri Lankan team, those who submit the final project. From them only the final global nominee is selected, right? Now, actually, what does this global nominee title means is every city will be selecting two global nominee. Finally, that projects will be analyzed by NASA. That is what you mean by global nominee. So it's not the end line. Again, there's a challenge, right? Again, there's a challenge. So basically, now Colombo is taking to good projects and lifting it to the higher level. Again, that higher level will be judged by NASA directly, and they will be selecting the final winning team, right? So that's how that works.
Yes. That would be the final question for our Q&A session. And to our participants, we would be updating you all about the hackathons in our social media sites of NASA Space Apps Colombo, and you can also follow our WhatsApp channel to stay updated on future news and all the updates of the Space Apps Challenge Colombo. The links to our social media sites and our channel on WhatsApp would be shared through the chat box. You can join to these and then stay connected with NASA Space Apps Colombo. To bring up a conclusion to today's event, I would first like to thank everyone for their questions, and a big round of thanks goes to Mr. King's Perory for taking time to answer them. Your responses have provided us with a greater understanding of the challenges and opportunities we will be facing in space exploration and innovation. I would now like to share a moment to appreciate Mr. King's Perory, and we would love to offer you this special token of appreciation for taking time away from your busy schedule and for taking part with us tonight, sharing your insights, your knowledge with all our participants about NASA Space Apps. Your inspiring story inspired me personally to take part in this challenge and to compete not targeted at winning but still researching learning topics. I really think that all our participants had a similar feeling about taking part in this event. And a notice, WhatsApp channel link has been shared in the Zoom chat. So I invite all our participants to join this. And Mr. Kings, thank you once again for being with us tonight.
Welcome,
yes,
and thank you for inviting me as well. Thank you.
yeah, and don't leave. As we approach the end of our event, I have to express our gratitude to everyone, and I invite everyone to take part in a group photograph. I invite you to switch on your camera and then stay connected and take a group photograph to keep as a memo of today's event. I invite everyone, including our participants, to take part in this. I am inviting all our participants to switch on their cameras and join us for a group photograph of the first event of NASA Space Apps. Please hold on a minute as our participants will be joining us for a moment to share this event with you. Okay, so I'll be counting up to 3 and then we will be taking a group photograph. I invite everyone to switch on your camera. Be ready for this moment. So in 3, 2, and 1, everyone say cheese. I thank you all for taking part in today's event and taking this opportunity to be a part with us. A great part of our event. Yes, now we have come to the end of today's event. So I am really sorry to see you go, but still I am happy to see you all being excited for whichever comes in the future for NASA Space Apps. So I once again invite you all to join our social media channels and stay connected with NASA Space Apps Colombo. A great extras of gratitude goes to Mr. Keen's Perory as well for being an invaluable contribution and inspiring us with his achievements. Again, together we can make a significant impact and change the future of science and technology. So everyone stay connected and continue to collaborate and innovate. See you soon in the next events of NASA Space Apps Colombo. Thank you and have a great night. Good night.